Hi guys, I just wanted to talk to you about my new lace top. It's kind of like a take on the new Sabo skirt lace top, but I didn't feel like paying $42 for a top when I know I could just make it myself. So if you have somebody in your family who has a sewing machine, they can help you make this. Pretty much all you really need to know is how to thread a machine and how to read a pattern and cut out pattern pieces. So, this is my top. I kind of screwed up the back. I need to fix the back. I kind of did it in a hurry, so it's fraying. That's the back. It's all scrunchy. And it's got like two pieces to it. So there's the lacy part, and then there's an underneath mesh part. So what I did, like where I got the pattern from Berta Style, and I'm gonna include the link. And it's a free it's a free pattern, and it comes with a whole dress pattern. With patterns, they're cut up between the top and the bottom, so you don't have to make the skirt. I did use the same exact pattern for my pink two-piece dress. So that pattern is great for stuff like that, and it can help you make a lot of these tops. So what I use for my fabric, before I get into anything else, what I use for this fabric is actually curtains. This is the second curtain. But I mean, come on, dude. Like, this cost me $4 to get two curtains, and I'm gonna make a second shirt out of this one. So there's the curtains, and for the top, it gives you pattern pieces. Like, it gives you, I don't know, maybe 20 pages that you have to print out and then tape together. And after you tape them together, you cut out the pattern pieces. But because I altered this just a little bit, I redid the pieces. So this is your front. This is the part that goes over your chest. And see this? That means that goes on a fold. Like when your stuff is folded over like that, you put it right on the folded part. That way when you open it up, it becomes bigger and it's all even on both sides. So that's what that is. And then this is the side. It goes like right here. But you need this because this part right here is called a dart, and it gets sewn. That way it helps curve to your body. Like that. I usually cut that part out of the pattern, just the pattern. That way I can take a disappearing marker, which you can get at Walmart down the sewing aisle. It's usually not that big anymore, but it does have everything you need. And the marker has two sides to it. It has a purple side and a blue side. And when you use that, the ink goes away. So if you use that to make your darts, and when you do it, you make sure that it's folded nicely, and you sew just straight down, so it makes that thing like I was showing you before when you flip it right side out. So when I use that, like after you've got this piece cut out and these two pieces cut out, and after you've sewn your darts, you sew this part and this part together like this. And you want to use pins. Like, make sure to use your pins. I think this one is actually a bit longer. So use your pins to do that. Don't do this. I keep on forgetting to cut this shorter. So it should match up exactly when you're pinning them together. And then you sew over that, and you have to do this twice. You have to do it for an inside and an outside. Like, that's the inside. And then you have to make another for the outside. So you do the same thing twice. And if you have a machine that can do a zigzag stitch or anything, make sure to do that over your seams. Your seams are the rough edge. Like, you know, whenever you see on your clothes, this is a seam. They usually use a serger on that. But if you don't have a serger, which I doubt you will, because sergers are freaking expensive as hell, and frankly they're not worth it. You have to buy like 4 things of thread just to use a serger. So just use a zigzag stitch on that to make sure that your clothes don't fall apart. And when you're done putting them both like together, like the sides to the front, take them with your outsides together so that all your rough edges are on the outside pointing out, and you sew around the top, like right around here. And after you're done with that, you cut a little notch right in the center. That way it makes the dip, otherwise it puckers when you turn it right side out. And oh, I'm sorry. If you're doing it like I did it, where like I've got the scallops down here and they've got nothing behind them and the back is shorter, you want to make sure to finish the underneath. See this? You want to make sure to finish this first before you put them together. I'm sorry. So when you're doing that, you take your fabric and you fold it over once and you sew it, just straight line over, and then after that you go back, you flip it over one more time to hide the rough edge, and you sew over it a second time. So it's the once and then the twice. And then for the back, this part, you're going to need some elastic, and you can use whatever to pull it through. Like for this, to make sure that I didn't feel like I actually didn't feel like doing too long of a thing of this. But I have my back, which is actually 2 times over, because you need a lot of to put the elastic in so that it scrunches up nice. So this has a fold line too. This is like as big as my front, but it's got to be like twice the size of this. And what I did for that was I just took the top of the curtain and I added two rows of stitching. Like, see how it's only got the one right there and the one right there? I put one more in between this part and one more in between this part. And then after that, you push the elastic through, which you can use like a stick or something. You can use anything that's straight to push it through. Just be careful if you're using a mesh like material like me, because you can poke right through the fabric and ruin it. And you have to sew down the side when you get it through, and then you pull it to give it the scrunched up elastic give, but make sure not to do it too tight, otherwise it's going to flatten your boobs when you put it on. So after you're done with that, you can take your fabric, like your 2 pieces that are already sewed together at the top, and I wonder how well I can show you. And so you take them like this, because they don't have the sides sewn down yet, and you stick the elastic part on the side in between them from the inside, and then you sew that down, and then I finished the side of this because it's longer, and then you do it the same thing to the other side, and it's pretty much all done. When you're completely finished with it, you want to iron out the top. That way it stays flat and it doesn't roll over or anything. But I did get the pattern from Berta Style, and if you're going to do it like me, what you want to do is just take the same friggin' thing and just make the back longer, like the front longer, I mean. Like, this is the size of what the inside is. And then just added like that much more. It's pretty much whatever you want. But if you want it as short as mine, you're going to have to cut down the Berta Style thing. Just take it up to yourself and see how much, like, see where you want it. Like, see? I'm pretty sure the Berta Style one comes down to like here, and I took off that much. So if I were you, just make the Berta Style one first, hold on to it if you want to possibly make a dress one day, and take whatchamacallit, I can't remember what they're called. Take a paper bag or something, or take old wrapping paper. Christmas just ended. There should be wrapping paper around the house. So just take the wrapping paper and trace out your pattern pieces. So just remember, this always means put it on the fold. This I only cut out so that I can mark things up, and it's called a dart, and that means you fold it over. And don't mess that part up, because it gets sewn down once this way for the first one, and then you gotta take the other one and sew it the opposite way. That way they hook up to your chest the right way. Otherwise you're gonna have two going the same way, and you're not gonna be able to use it because they're gonna be going wrong, and you're gonna have to take the thread out and do it all over again. So that's how I made my top, and I hope this is simple enough for you guys. If I got a little confusing with it, just message me or something, and I'll help you out some more, because I try to make things as easy as possible when I explain them, but I don't know. Thanks for following. I am so happy to have hit 7,000 followers. I know it's not really too much, but it's still a lot of people when you really think about it. Thanks guys, love you all, and I will try to make another video soon.